Assalamu alaikum. I'm Ibrahim Hooper with CAIR's News Update. After questioning the potential for anti-Muslim stereotyping in a planned Alice in Arabia series by ABC Family, CAIR welcomed a decision by the channel to drop the program.
The show called Alice in Arabia has been pulled from the ABC Family Network following intense backlash. The show was about a teenager in Saudi Arabia who was living with her conservative Muslim grandfather against her will. Muslim advocacy groups complained that the show was racist. The Council on American Islamic Relations, the largest Muslim civil rights organization in the country, wrote a letter to ABC Family last week when the pilot was announced, saying we're concerned that given the media references to the main character surviving life behind the veil, that's the phrase that was used, the pilot and any resulting series may engage in stereotyping that can lead to things like bullying Muslim students.
In California, CAIR held an interfaith news conference calling for the rejection of Islamophobia following an apparent hate-motivated shooting.
First, the Sheriff's Department thought this was random when a Sacramento Muslim man was shot to death in the Home Depot parking lot off of Florin Road.
It deems that he has an unliking of what he describes as a Muslim community.
In addition to Jeffrey Michael Kaler's dislike for Muslims, investigators say surveillance video from Home Depot shows this may not have been random. Kaler is shown here on video stalking Al-Awsi for several minutes leading up to his death.
Hassan Al-Awsi left Iraq, war-torn Iraq, fled to find a safe place to live and provide for his family. And now he will be returning to that war-torn country in a casket.
The Council of American Islamic Relations is also outraged, along with various civil rights and community leaders who spoke today.
CAIR-Sacramento chapter had earlier called for hate crime charges after a Muslim was called terrorist and almost run down at a local Costco.
We'll call her Sarah. Sarah had just finished packing her groceries in the car Saturday when she got into the driver's seat. And then,
white male pulled into the stall next to me, and when he got out of his car, he yelled terrorist, and I was like, what? Excuse me? And he said, yeah, terrorist, go to hell. And he said, what are you going to do, call CAIR?
Good idea, she thought. Sarah called the Council of American Islamic Relations and then filed a police report for a hate crime.
In Chicago, CAIR called for an FBI probe of a shot fired into the dome of an Illinois mosque.
Council on American Islamic Relations, or CAIR, says a single shot was fired at the dome of the mosque, leaving two holes, an entrance mark and another mark, where the bullet apparently lodged. The group says debris ended up raining down on the congregants, interrupting their prayer, but no one was injured. CAIR says Orland Park police have been notified and asked to increase patrols. The group has also contacted the FBI and is asking that the incident be investigated as a possible hate crime.
Had it been aimed lower and gone through a window, I personally believe it could have killed someone.
In Washington State, CAIR held a news conference to call for an investigation of why a local imam was forcibly removed from a Delta flight.
Today, the Council on American Islamic Relations and other local faith leaders tried to deliver a letter to Delta. The imam says he was escorted off a flight on March 8th because a crew member says the way he used the restroom was, quote, doubtful.
He does have a beard. He was wearing regular street clothes, not clerical clothes. And he does feel that he was targeted because of his appearance.
In Minnesota, CAIR hosted a Jewish-Muslim Day at the Capitol.
Got to take a look now at some of these faces. Some of these children could be our future politicians. These Minnesota teens learned about the political process and talked to their legislators today about the Safe School bill. This was the first annual Jewish-Muslim Youth Day, where the floor was open to these kids and the issues that directly impact them.
I think, the Capitol seems, so far away and, kind of like its own little, place here. But it's, once they get involved, I think they can see that they can contribute, that their ideas and their, input is important and they should contribute and be involved.
Also recently, MSNBC's Rachel Maddow quoted CAIR in the case of an FBI shooting of a Florida Muslim.
All of a sudden today, bing, 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 all in one morning, the U.S. government at both the state and the federal level and the FBI itself all declaring this matter to be overdone, completely investigated, and totally kosher. It's done. The Council on American Islamic Relations in Florida has advocated for Mr. Todashev and for his family throughout this case. They said today that they question the FBI's narrative in the case. They say, quote, the only person who can contradict the government's narrative is now dead. And the investigation into his death relied on evidence gathered by agents of the same agency involved in his death.
And finally, CAIR's Texas chapter offered condolences to the loved ones of those killed or injured in the latest deadly shooting at Fort Hood. To receive CAIR updates and action alerts, sign up at CAIR.com. To contact CAIR, email info@CAIR.com. Assalamu alaikum. Peace to you.